How do you actually invest for your kids the right way? That's one of the most common questions I get from high earners, because most parents want to do something for their kids financially. They're just not sure what accounts to use, what order to do things in, or if they're even doing it the right way. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing for our own kids, the accounts we use, the strategies, and more importantly, how we're raising them to understand money so that they don't just inherit wealth, but that they know how to create it. And I'm also going to show you one thing that we're doing that matters way more than all the accounts that we have listed combined. Before I show you anything tactical, you need to understand this. Wealth is not about money. It's really about behavior. And if your kids inherit money without the mindset, they're just going to lose it. And if they inherit the mindset, they can create it forever. So in our house, we say this all the time. We invest. That's just what the Frasers do. So let me quickly show you the structure, then I'll show you what actually matters. Here's 6 vehicles we use to invest money for our kids. Number 1 is a 529 plan. This is a tax advantage account for education, but we don't just treat it like college savings. We treat it like long-term investing for their future. Next, we have their custodial Roth IRAs. It allows us to invest the kids' earned income and it grows tax-free, which is incredibly powerful when you start young. Number 3, custodial brokerage accounts. This is where it gets fun and you can actually own stocks for the kids and they can see how investing works. Number 4 is life insurance. We use this as part of the long-term planning and protection strategy for the kids. And number 5 is real estate exposure. They all own real estate. Number 6 is business ownership. We've sold them small parts and percentages of our companies. Now, they are also built into our estate plans. They're listed as all the beneficiaries. Now, that's the structure, but let me be clear. If all we do is just set up accounts, then we're missing the whole point. The real strategy is what we actually do next. So most people say, we don't have money to invest for our kids, Jamil. And I want to submit to you, that's just not true. You do. You just need a proven system and a better system. So here's 4 areas where we consistently get money to invest for our kids. Number 1, birthday and holidays. Every single dollar actually has a job. They don't just spend money, they learn. They learn to save, to invest, and to give from the very beginning. Number 2 might actually shock you, and that's just using recycling dollars. That's correct. We're not just teaching, we create money, not to just spend it. But this is easily $100 a month, which is $1,200 a year, and over a 30-year horizon at 10% interest, this is over $218,000 that they could have just from recycling. And number 3 is their own business. This is a big one. Every one of our kids starts a business. So my daughter Mila right now runs a bracelet company. She makes about $500 a month. Get this. That's $6,000 a year. Again, if she invests $6,000 a year over 30 years at 10% interest, my friend, that is over $1 million from bracelets. Now, that's not a hobby. That's a wealth creating system. Number 4 is they work for our own businesses. And this is something that most people miss altogether, but you can legally pay your kids for working for your company. Now that becomes a tax write-off for you and earn income for them, which you can invest into their Roth IRA. So now you're turning family income into tax-free wealth for your kids. Now you might be thinking, Jamil, I don't own a business. Now that's fair, but this might be a great time for you to start thinking about owning a business. I explain all the benefits on why it might be time for you to start a business right here on this video on the screen for you to click on and watch later. Now, here's what's crazy. Everything I just showed you does not matter at all without the proper mindset. So how do we actually train their minds? There's really 5 key ways that have worked for us. The first way is we have structured family dinners every week, and we talk about money intentionally. From the age of 2, we start asking them, what do you do with the dollar? And they say, we save, we invest, and we give. What's wild is they don't even know what saving and investing and giving is, but they start to build the habit early. Next, we have presentation. So we actually assign topics and they are responsible for teaching us. So remember how I told you about my daughter Mila and her bracelet business? Well, it wasn't just about starting the business. She later needed to do a presentation and teach us how to start a profitable business. Now, she told us about the idea and then marketing and then sales and then delivery. This all happens at 10 years old. Now, that's not normal. That is something that's been trained. And number three is just giving them real world experience. So my kids actually sit in on real investment conversations. People might pitch me a deal, an opportunity to invest into their business. Anytime those scenarios come up, my kids are in the room and I ask them, would you actually make this investment? They might only be 11 years old. And one time my son told me he would not invest in his company. I asked him why, and he gave me all the reasons, and I actually didn't listen to him. I invested anyways. Come to find out, he was right. I lost a ton of money. And that's when I realized they're not just learning, they are now starting to think. So if you don't have real scenarios like the one I just presented, then guess what? This is your opportunity to just start making them up. Schedule it one night out of the week and you play make-believe Shark Tank. Have one of the kids or someone in the family pitch you ideas, then have the family chime in and tell you if it's a good investment or not. Number four is just critical thinking. We constantly ask, would you invest in this? We might walk by a building and ask, would you invest in this building? Why? Why not? We do the same for businesses. It could be a dry cleaners or a car wash or an accounting firm. It doesn't matter. A piece of real estate, whether it's a single family home or an apartment building, we always ask, would you invest in this? Why? Why is this a good investment? Why might it be a bad investment? So every opportunity that we get, we're really trying to build critical thinking skills, decision-making skills. A great example is my 6-year-old made about $100 selling avocado. He wanted to spend it all. I asked him why. He actually couldn't answer. So I put him in a car. I drove him to a really rough neighborhood, or just a really rough area. And I asked him, would you rather live here or would you rather live where we live? He says, where we lived. I said, why? He told me. Then I said, if you spend everything, if you spend that whole $100, then you'll end up living here. And if you save and invest and give like we teach you, you'll end up living over there. So I asked him again, do you want to spend that whole $100? He said, no. Lesson learned. So here's what most people don't realize. By the time your kid is 18 years old, their money habit is already set in. So if you wait until they're adults to teach them about money, oftentimes you're going to be too late. And number five is their portfolio reviews. What does this mean? It means that they actually review their own portfolios. They make decisions. They analyze their wins. They see when they lose and they learn, because now they have skin in the game. They tend to pay more attention. So let me paint the real goal. The real goal is not for the kids to graduate and look for the job. The goal is for them to graduate and already own assets, understand money, have income coming in, and just imagine being 18 years old. Instead of asking, what job should I get? You're actually asking, what do I invest in next? That is the shift, my friend. So here's what I want you to be thinking. We're not raising kids who need money. We're raising kids that know how to create the money. And if you've enjoyed this video at all, then watch this next one. And if you haven't yet, click that little subscribe button to join the channel family here. And let me know what questions you have that I can answer in future videos. And until the next time, say it with me, no lazy money.